Respected venerable members of Mahasangha, dear devotees who visited this place from different corners of this wonderful land. I think there may be devotees who join with us online. Dear friends, today is a significant day for us because of the Parita chanting day before the greatest meritorious day, tomorrow. And also the chanting period is a significant thing for all monks and also devotees to embrace the Dhamma in a beautiful way. Because of this reason, it is a great moment for all of us. After the full moon day of October, the devotees of each temple, with the advice of venerable monks of the temple, are dedicating their time to conclude their long but very important meritorious deed called Vasana retreat by culminating so many aspirations of both parties. This is the first the chanting events we gather, and therefore it is a great opportunity for us to see the significance of such events and to embrace the Dhamma through those avenues and practices. Venerable Bhante Sankitya, with the advice of Mudita Nayaka Hamro, invited me to speak the significance of the Parita chanting for you to make up your mind and gain many merits out of this. It's a very difficult task because of the important factors entailed with this whole ceremony, but I try my best to show you some important elements of the Parita chanting. The history of the Parita chanting goes back to the Buddha's time. On full moon days, the monks, with the advice of the Buddha, gathered to a particular place in numbers and chanted the Dhamma for the sake of remembering the Dhamma, for the sake of practicing the Dhamma, for the sake of protecting the Dhamma, and for the sake of warding off of unwholesome powers and states of the mind and energies in the environment. Later, this tradition evolved as a very wonderful practice among monks and lay people together to practice the noble path entirely. If I come to the recent past of the Parita chanting, it has become one of the significant practices of Theravada Buddhism, especially because it gives an opportunity for monks and lay devotees to communicate in length with the Dhamma, to embrace so many wonderful qualities such as Sila, Samadhi and Panya. This is not an overnight chanting, it's only a chanting for maximum 2 hours. But the opportunity we get from this to concentrate, to practice mindfulness is wonderful and enormous and praiseworthy. The sutta that the significance of Parita chanting talks about is called Vimuttayatana Sutta from the numerical discourses of the Buddha. Talks about 5 avenues or 5 ways to reach to the emancipation, the liberation. Out of 5, 2 of them talks about Sajjayana or Parita chanting. This is why this parita chanting is important. If the Buddha or disciple of the Buddha with devotion and based on sila chant the words of the Buddha in a beautiful way, it gives an opportunity for devotees to pay attention, and it of course draws your attention because it is done in a beautiful way, and there you can overcome the disturbing thoughts in your mind. Right now your mind may be here or elsewhere with something you need to do after this, maybe something you did after this, maybe not related thoughts to this one. So you try your best to gather them. With the voice of Venerable Mahasangha, you can concentrate and bring your attention to the present moment, and then these words of the Buddha, there you overcome hindrances. Anything that disturb wisdom is called hindrances, and they are taken off from your mind by paying attention to the words of the Buddha in the name of parita chanting. There you feel joy, gladness, and a kind of happy mind. I have experienced this very much when monks chanted very well, and there you have that samadhi mind, which is difficult to attain perhaps through meditation sometime, but this path would be easy for you. Then from there onward, you can find the true meaning of the Dharma, true meaning of the life, because you have gained the concentration, samadhi. That is one of the 5, because when monks chanted, when the Buddha chanted, we pay attention and follow the path of samadhi. And the other way is, we monks ourselves can bring our attention and bring our mind through that way into samadhi to see the truth. Therefore, friends, parita chanting is not only just a ceremony, it is a wonderful meritorious deed that can be very productive in a spiritual way, and also other ways such as collecting merits. When I see this mandapa, and when I see how you invited Venerable Mahasangha, we can see the preparation. We know that Mudita Nayakahandru and Sankirta Nayakahandru and the other Bhantes who observe our sun retreat here guided you to do similar things throughout the 3 months period, and you have so much energies, and from my experience I know that, so that you can bring that shraddha, you can bring that energy along with wisdom to make this moment a success in a spiritual way. I told you at the beginning that this chanting is for protection. From what? As we know, our mind is governed by unwholesome thoughts in many occasions. Sometimes we forget to remind us which way we need to remove them, so that we hang on to some practices like this, listening to chanting, and also chant ourselves some gathas. The Buddha Puja Bhante Jinananda did was a moment for us to bring our mind into peace and happiness. So we do a lot of such things. So therefore this is protecting us from unwholesomeness. Greed, hatred and ignorance are the roots of unwholesomeness. We cannot harm them unless we tackle with 5 hindrances, so that when we do chanting and when we listen to chanting, we can protect our mind from new impure thoughts, because we have entered into an area where there is no disturbance. Physically, this place is beautiful and protected, and mentally, we should be able to do that. So that is why it is called protection. Parisamantato, taiti rakkati parita. From from various ways we can protect our mind, because we see venerable monks. Seeing venerable monks is a wonderful thing. And when so perhaps you close your eyes and listen to great chanting. So you see time to time around you, and people are concentrated on listening Parita chanting, so that it brings you joy. And you open your eyes and see the beautiful statue of the Buddha, and in front of the mandapa, in front of the decorated place, and venerable monks are so concentrated, so you bring attention once again to the peace and happiness. So therefore, this is a protection from each aspect. And it is also a meditation, because as I said, it brings a scattered mind into one-pointedness. Along with this, I think Parita chanting brings us joy, and as I said, this entails so many wonderful activities. I want to tell you that the Parita chanting is done in a beautiful way by venerable monks. Every year we got the chance to listen to beautiful voices, such as from Bhante J, and there are other monks here. So when they focus the syllables and the way, the places where they should stress to chant, and it becomes a beautiful piece of that. This is why this is really important. So I invite everyone to try their best to be mindful and bring attention to each and every aspect. Of course, you know how to do this, because ever since the Great Lakes Buddhist Vihara started, for several times of the year, you listen to Parita chanting, whether it was short or long, so you have enough experience to behave, especially your mind, in this particular occasion, so that I don't need to talk about a result of Parita chanting. So I pick up some point and draw your attention to that. That's all I needed to do. From the bottom of my heart, this spiritual chant, this Parita chanting is going to be a really nice one, and and also other monks of Hilda Javardhanarami and Buddhist Congress of Canada express our pleasure and joy, and wish the success of this temple. When Mudita Hamro reside at one place, at any place, it's going to be really nice. And I know from my experience that Sankhicha Hamro and other monks, they are beautiful monks. And one of the purpose right now is to bless Naik Hamro, Sankhicha Hamro, and other venerable monks, good health and peace of mind. Without them, this is not going to happen in this beautiful way. So one of the purpose of the chanting is to bless them for their well-being and happiness. So right after my Dhamma talks, one monk will come forward and say to word of all kinds of suffering and fear, and also all kinds of bad things should be away by the power of the Parita chanting. So it happens first to the venerable monks and then the devotees of this temple, and we know that this place is physically, spiritually, and other ways growing, and that is our wish. Of this chanting, this is the very thing we need to think. And tomorrow, as many of you reiterated, the wonderful, powerful Katina ceremony is going to be. And may this blessing from the Parita chanting should be with you, should be with everyone who come all the way from to the Vihara to do that meritorious deed. One last thing I want to share, that is, not only you listen to this spirit chant, Parita chanting. It could be divine being, it could be other living beings, it could be anyone. So that your mental behavior with kindness and compassion is required. To do that, you have to maintain your discipline and give your full attention. Because Venerable Bhante are going to invite divine beings to come here and listen to this wonderful chanting. Therefore, this is not only a passive, one-way chanting. It is a collective meritorious deed that gives benefits to celestial and terrestrial being, human and non-human, and the blessing goes even to relatives, devotees far away from us, even in Sri Lanka, India, elsewhere, throughout the entire world. So that keep your mind on compassion and kindness throughout the Bharata chanting if you cannot bring attention to that particular samadhi that I taught. Pinvatuni, ඊටාම වැදගත් පරිත්‍රාණ දේශනාවක් සිදු කරන්නට සියලු කටයුතු සූදානම් බව උපාසක උපාසිකාවන් වන ඔබ පාර්ශවයෙන් මහා සංඝරත්නය වෙත දැනුම් දීම කළා. මුදිත නායක හාමුදුරන් වහන්සේගේ සහ සංඝිච්ඡ හාමුදුරන් වහන්සේගේ සහ විහාරවාසී සේසු මහා සංඝරත්නය අවවාද අනුශාසනා පරිදි මහා පරිත්‍රාණ ධර්ම දේශනාවක් අයට එකමාරක පමණ කාලයකුණත් මහත් පින් වැඩෙන ආකාරයක සිදු කරන්නට බාහිර වශයෙන් අභ්‍යන්තර වශයෙන් සියලු කටයුතු සූදානම් වෙලා තියෙන අවස්ථාව. තථාගත බුදු පියාණන් වහන්සේ ඒ උතුම් සත්‍ය ආර්ය මහා සංඝරත්නයේ ගුණ ඇති කරගන්න. නැත්ති මේ සරණං අඤ්ඤං බුද්ධෝ මේ සරණං වරං. බුදුරජාණන් වහන්සේ හැර මට අන්සරණක් නැත. ධර්මයේ හැර මට අන්සරණක් නැත. ආර්ය සංඝයා හැර මට අන්සරණක් නැත කියන මේ ත්‍රිවිධ රත්නය පිළිබඳ මෙබඳු සද්ධා මාත්‍රයක් පවා ප්‍රමාණවත් වෙනවා. ඔබට මේ මහා පින්කම තුළ සමතෙක් වන්නට ධර්ම දායාදය ලබා ගන්න. ඒ සඳහා මනස සූදානම් කරගන්න ඔබගේ ශරීරය බොහොම ලස්සනට සුදු ඇඳලා මේ පරිසරය බොහොම ලස්සනට තබාගෙන ඒ කටයුතු කළාseම ඔබගේ හිතත් ශ්‍රද්ධාවෙන් පුරවාගෙන මේ අවස්ථාවට සම්බන්ධ වන්නටයි මම කරුණු කීපය ප්‍රකාශ කළේ. ඉතින් මේ අමුතු පළවෙනි වරට සම්බන්ධ වෙන සිදුවීමක් කියලා මම හිතන්නේ. ඒ නිසා ඔබට වැඩි වේලාවක් අනුශාසනා කරන්න අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. වස් කාලය තුල සහ නොයෙක් අවස්ථාවල මේ තථාගත දේශනාව ශ්‍රද්ධාවෙන් ශ්‍රවණය කොට ප්‍රතිඵල ලැබුව ඔබට මේ අවස්ථාවේ සීකඳවීම වශයෙන් මේ කරුණ ප්‍රකාශ කළේ. අපි ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරමු මේ මහා පරිත්‍රාණ ධර්ම දේශනාවේ විශේෂයෙන් මහා පිරිත් දේශනාව තුළ අපි දියුණු කරන පුණ්‍ය ශක්තිය නායක හාමුදුරන් වහන්සේ ඇතුළු විහාරවාසී පූජනීය හාමුදුරන් වහන්සේලාට නිදුක් නිරෝගී සැප පිණිස වේවා. නොඑක් දෙසින් වැඩමුකට වදාළ පූජනීය මහා සංඝරත්නයට නිරෝගී සම්ප්‍රාප්තිය පිණිස මේ ආශිර්වාදයන් හේතු වේවා. ලෙඩ දුක් වලින් පීඩා විඳින වයෝ වෘද්ධ අපේ සමාජයේ සමාජිකාවන් වෙතොත් ඒ අයට නිරෝගී සම්ප්‍රාප්තිය පිණිස දුකින් තොරවීම පිණිස මේ පින හේතු වේවා. මේ මහා පින්කමට උරදී කටයුතු කරන දායක පින්තුන්ට නායක හාමුදුරුවෝ හාමුදුරන් වහන්සේලාට ආශිර්වාද කරන්න අවශ්‍යයි. ඒ තමයි මේ පින්කමේ ප්‍රධාන පරමාර්ථය. ඒ නිසා ඔබ සියලු දෙනා නිදුක්ව නිරෝගීව සතුටින් සමගියෙන් මේ පින්කම ආරම්භ කරනවා. මේ මොහොතේ අවසන් වෙනතුරුම කටයුතු කරන්නට කායික මානසික නිරෝගීතාවය ඔබට තහවුරු වේවා. ඔබට සතුටින් මේ පින්කම කරන්න බෑ. ඔබගේ දෙමව්පියන් සහෝදර සහෝදරයන් දූ දරුවන් ඥාති මිත්‍රාදී සුවසේ නැත්නම් ඒ සියලු දෙනාද හිතින් සම්බන්ධ කරගන්න. ඔබට ලැබෙනවා පිරිත් නූලක් අල්ලා ගන්නට. ඒ අර්ථ ගැන්වෙනවා. ඔබ අල්ලාගෙන විවිධ දේවල් කල්පනා කිරීම නෙමෙයි ඔබ කරන්න ඕන. පිරිත් නූල සමග අපි සමයකට සම්බන්ධ වෙලා ඒකාත්මික වෙලා ශාරීරික වශයෙන් වගේම මානසික වශයෙන් මේ පිරිතේ අර්ථය සහ ධර්මය මෙනෙහි කරමින් ශ්‍රද්ධාවෙන් පිරිත් අහන්නයි ඒ ඔබට ලබා දෙන්නේ. ඒ අර්ථය ධර්මයේ වටහාගෙන යනවා පිරිත් අහන්න. එයයි අපේ බලාපොරොත්තුව. එයයි ඔබගේ බලාපොරොත්තුව සම්පූර්ණ වෙන ධර්ම ප්‍රතිපත්තිය මේ මොහොතේ. ඒ අනුව ඔබ සියලු දෙනා සුවපත් වේවා. දෙවියන්ටද මේ පින් අනුමෝදන් වේවා. විශේෂයෙන්ම ශ්‍රී ලාංකිකයන් අප සියලු දෙනා ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ සම්බුද්ධ ශාසනය ඒ වගේම ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ සිටින සියලුම ජනතාව ලෝකයේ පැතිරී විසිරී සිටින සියලුම ශ්‍රී ලාංකිකයන් සුවපත් වේවා. අනිකුත් සත්‍යයන් සුවපත් වේවා. දෙවියන් මේ පින් අනුමෝදන් වෙත්වා. මෛත්‍රී සිතත් ඇති කරගෙන මෛත්‍රී සිතුවිල්ලෙන්ම ශ්‍රද්ධාවෙන්ම මේ පිළිතර සවන් දී ආශිර්වාද ලැබමු. ඔබගේ සියලු දුක් නිවාරණය වේවා, සියලු බය නැති වේවා, සියලු රෝග පීඩාදී තුරන් වේවා කියන අදහස ඇති කරගෙන පිරිත් ශ්‍රවණය කරන්න සූදානම් වෙන්න සාදුකාරයක් වාගේ.
Thank you very much, Bhante Jinananda, for preparing ourselves to the right and good state of mind to receive these powerful blessings of this special chanting tonight. So after that, it is the Mangul Peravadana, the traditional drum playing. So I invite our friend Sanidu to perform that. Sanidu Mangul Peravadana.